thought that initially we had said that we're not recruiting, right? Yeah. Now we are recruiting. So the whole thing has become like, okay, I'll go and tell your mother. Say, me too, I'll tell your mother because the last time you also did it. That's what it has become. And I've been talking about proper police, political police, and protocol police. Same will stretch into prisons, fire service, immigration, and Ghana Armed Forces, and even for national security. Now, you remember that's about a month ago, Helen, I showed some recruits, prison recruits, that recruitment that was happening at the Ankafo Maximum Security Prison.
The one with the shoe.
Yes. And this was about a month ago, maybe more.
That's right.
And I showed that. I said secret recruitment was happening and that they only spent 2 weeks at that training ground and then they are pushed into the system. If you want to see what I'm talking about, get onto our Facebook page at 3FM927. Visuals no lie. Take a look at it. Visuals no lie. And if you're listening to us on radio, you can hear them. Per what I know, I mean, they're all supposed to be uniformed, some are wearing black trousers, some are wearing green shoes, some are wearing full shoe, some are wearing sandals. Some are wearing black top. And the standard is that they wear khaki with a white top. But here, they are wearing, you can clearly tell that they are wearing what they are wearing. See, they are just excited to be there. Some are wearing skinny, right? 2 weeks, and that's all they need to be there. 2 weeks. Because somebody's wearing black top with a khaki. I mean, and even for me, as a cadet, right, a member of the National Cadet Corps, when we are going for camps, there's a prescribed thing that you bring. You don't bring any other thing. But this is happening. And I can tell you on authority that after the 2 weeks, so now these people you see, right, they're already in the service.
What?
They're already in the service. They're already in the service. These people you see doing this left, right, playing with it like Obrimpon schoolmates playing at school. They are part of it. They are literally joking with the thing.
This is like a
somebody's wearing a blue and white, yes. Some are wearing their bags behind them on the square, on the training square.
Somebody's holding a plate.
Yes.
Why?
It's a joke. It's a big joke. It's a big joke. Six, if you check the folder, I also have a list of over 500 people as of 2022. The chief of staff wrote a letter to say these 500 people have been, and I'll read a portion of the letter. I said they have been appointed. They have been appointed to join the immigration service, but they have to undergo training after the appointment. Don't you train, certify before you appoint? So this is it. From the office of the president, Flagstaff House, Accra, it is referenced FSH/476/02/22. It says appointment into the Ghana Immigration Service. It's dated the 22nd of February, 2022. I acknowledge receipt of the following persons to the offered appointment into the Ghana Immigration Service. Show me the last page. It is 9 pages. 500 and excess of that. Now look at the last paragraph. It says the Ghana Immigration Service has underlisted the service regulations which all appointees are strictly adhered to or to adhere to, and to complete formalities to report to the training school at Tepa in the Ahafuano North Municipal District of the Ashanti region on the 22nd of June. The same day the letter was released, they have been appointed. And others go onto the street to buy forms.
That's right.
And then they go and stand at LWAC. And then they go through the rigorous process of testing them, physicals, blah, blah, blah. And then they will be asked to go home and come back and check for their medicals.
That's right.
Right? And then they will go back and come back and come and do all the quick back before a handful of them are selected. This list of over 500. And if anybody dares me, I'll put the list out. And I can tell you on authority that the people on this list from June 22, 2022,
Right.
June 22, 2022, they are all in the immigration service. They were actually given their appointment and assurance before they were asked to proceed to the training school. So as for the training school, it's just a formality.
What we are seeing them
Yes. And sometimes it's 2 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, finish.
But Johnny, for further understanding, once they, shall I say, pass out, as it were, after the 2-week training, then they have their uniforms, everything, they are fully fledged.
Yes.
After what we are seeing here, these
So
guys that we are
these
seeing,
are supposed to be recruits, and recruits are supposed to, you just saw somebody with a full shoe.
yes, somebody was holding a blue plate.
Yes. Somebody is wearing full shoe, Chinese combat. We called it, is this Chinese combat? The one that the Wantaki Polo. All those shoes, they were wearing all those. You can see them.
I
If
have
you go
seen
onto our
sandals
Facebook page,
also.
you can see them. It's a big joke. And it's not just the immigration service, not just the prisons, not just the fire service. All over the place. Everywhere. 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 Somebody is wearing sandals. You can see the sandals.
No, oh.
Somebody is wearing Crocs. It's all there. Everything is there. They're just joking. You know, when you go as a recruit, there's a haircut that you must get. Any recruit, there's a haircut that you must get. See, some of them have afro hair.
Yes.
Because master brought him. You can't touch him.
So this person, individual, if you're watching who's standing there, who is he? He's training them with
Yes. He's supposed to train them. But what can he do? The people have been brought for him to train. What can he do? Can he say that he will not? Can he say that he will not? He cannot say that he will not train them. He has to train them. He has to train them because they have been brought to him so to
Somebody
train.
has a bag. Oh my goodness.
And you know that the denial in the first place that, oh, nothing of such happened. Was it not so long ago that we saw on, the member of parliament for Kaikwe, Ablekuma North, right? Ablekuma North, Sheila Battels. We saw on her page, right? She said that these are police that I took. I want to find that post and put it out there. Bless his soul. When John Kuma died, not so long ago,
Yeah.
there were people who were saying that he took people to immigration, to police.
Yes, they said
Not
that.
like?
That's true.
So it's become fashionable for us to say, oh, I took X number of people into the service. And
Like, it's almost, I remember when Honorable Kennedy Japan was very irate that his protocol list had been denied him.
Yes.
I recall
Yes.
that. So it's like
it
it's
happens.
normal. Yes.
Now, if people are recruited in that fashion, where would their allegiance lie? Where would they lie? Will they lie towards the state, the people who take care of them in terms of their taxes, or will they lie in the hands of the politician who brought them there?
And these are the questions that we definitely need to answer, because how do you begrudge me the opinion that these are persons who are going to stay loyal to those who brought them into these services? You cannot.
You cannot. And you know, yesterday when the Honorable Henry Korte spoke, he said that, oh, we're making a big fuss out of it because there is a backlog that has to be cleared. That's what he said, right?
Yeah.
And that they have not started. They will now announce for people to apply. But the list that you see that are being pushed or is being pushed are people who came to apply. And that some, 2 years ago, some 3 years ago. Helen, I've not been to school for long. But the common sense question that comes to me is that if in 2021, you give me a cutoff age of 25 years.
Right.
And then in 2023, 2024, you push me in there, will I still be 25?
You will not.
So would I be qualified to meet the cutoff age?
I'm sure there are many who will fall foul of that criteria.
because I'm still supposed to be in training.
That's right.
So by 2024, from 2021, that cutoff age of 25 years, I would have gone past it. Now, if your whole idea is to just be pushing a backlog, what happens to those who are now turning 25, who also want to come and try their chances? What happens to them?
That's right.
Do they also have to wait until they are 28 to be put on a certain residual list before they can come?
He's saying if they thought it wise that they don't have to advertise anymore for people to continuously pay monies because you have a certain number of people that you have.
The Honorable Peter Lanchene Tobu is a member of Parliament for Wa West constituency. He is a senior police officer who has retired but is now in Parliament. He knows the inside of what we're talking about. He has written a letter to the IGP asking him to preserve and protect the soul and spirit of the internal security. Jones is on the phone line. Good morning, sir. Thank you very much for your time.
Johnny, good morning. How are you?
I am greater than Accra.
Wonderful. Greetings from Wichau, the district capital of my own constituency.
Fantastic, sir. Sir, you have written a letter to your former boss asking him to preserve and protect the soul and spirit of internal security. What did you mean by that?
Thank you very much. Let me say good morning to our cherished listeners. Internal security is the baby of the Ghana Police Service. So normally we say the lead agency for internal security is the Ghana Police Service.
Right.
The lead law enforcement agency is the Ghana Police Service. So if laws are meant to work, we need to have a very professional police institution. And if the police institution is functioning effectively, you can begin to be proud to talk about good governance. You can talk about the rule of law. And our democracy probably will have some high level of credibility. I wrote a letter to the Inspector General of Police, having picked some disturbing news from the ground. I've been a police officer since 1993. And some of the things I'm hearing, and in fact, it surprises me that it can actually be happening. What are we saying? Police recruitment, there is a procedure. That laid down procedure has not been changed by any policy. And how do we do it? Annually, police goes through what we call needs assessment. In assessing the needs of the institution, you look at the human resource factor. In looking at the human resource factor, you probably arrive at a point that, oh yes, we need some 10,000 more, looking at the attrition rate in the system. But you don't have what it takes to recruit 10,000. Somebody is going to be paying. So you consult the man with the purse. You go to the Minister of Finance and do a presentation. Justify why you need 10,000 more police officers, for example, for 2024. The Minister of Finance tells you, well, I'm going to look at ability to pay, and I'll look at your request. Within a day or two, the Minister of Finance comes to you and says, yes, I've looked at the data. We can only support maybe 4,000. So that is what you can do for 2024. After that, you make it public. You publish it. And in the needs assessment, you have been able to come to a conclusion that I need probably, out of the number, I will need about 50% of them senior high school graduates. I will need a particular percentage for professionals like doctors, engineers, and whatnot.
Right.
Computer experts and all that. And you put the categories out there in the advert. People will apply, go through the process. At the end of the day, you recruit the number that you are supposed to recruit for the year. And you begin to train them. But the list is down. You train them within that year. And the police training institutions across this country, if you feel all of them, you can do 5,000 just within 6 months. You have finished training all of them. And that is all for the year. Whoever was not selected, it means that the person is not qualified. In policing, we don't write exams to pass. We write to get selection because there is a number that we are looking at. So when we are looking for that particular number, let's assume that you have 80%, and you believe that, 80% I should make it. And they're looking for maybe 4,000 people. And from number 1 to the 4,000th person,
right,
the least mark there is maybe 89. rest of 90%, 98%, 95%. You have gotten your 80%, but you will not make it. You will not be selected, and that is it. The other issue is that you must demonstrate willingness to serve in the Ghana Police Service. Your passion to serve should be there. Nobody should force you and write your name and say, come and go to police. No. Make a deliberate choice. I want to be a police officer. So when you make that deliberate choice in 2024 and you were not given the opportunity, who says that in 2025 it wouldn't change? You could probably decide that I want to be a soldier now. Or maybe I want to be a fisherman. Or probably I've just gone into farming. Or probably I'm trying to see if I can get one village, one dam thing, and then go and open some small factory in my village. That is what I want to do. So policing is out of your brain. And after 3 years, they come back to you and say, oh, you applied to be police officer 3 years ago when you were 22.
Right.
So now you have more than 25 at the cutoff point. And they're asking you to come back to do what?
Right.
But I'm saying, as a matter of fact, there is nothing like backlog in police recruitment.
But the Interior Minister has said that that's the background. And I'll ask a simple question, pretty much what you have asked, that, look, if the cutoff age is specified, and after 3 years, I won't still be qualified for the cutoff age. So what's the minister talking about?
What is interesting is that it seems the minister has failed to avert himself to the very serious statement in the National Security Strategic Document, which says that youth unemployment is the greatest threat to our nation's peace and security.
The youth bulge.
Yes. So 17 years in 2021, I was not qualified because I was underage. Today, I am 20 years. And they're saying that somebody who was 25 years in 2021 and didn't make it, you are coming to take him at the age of 28 and 29 and abandon me who have gotten the right age of 20. The frustration you are setting into the system is very dangerous. This is a high voltage anger that is introducing into the system. That what we are doing, listen, what we are doing as a nation, sometimes we need to be frank. If it is wrong, let's say it. Let's call a spade a spade. What they want to do now is absolutely very wrong, and it will destroy internal security. I'm sure that if it is before the Defense and Interior Committee, if the minister appears before the Defense and Interior Committee, he will come out and revise his note. I don't care whether NDC members have been given protocol or MPP members have been given protocol, and for that matter, he's threatening that you publish names. All I'm telling the minister is that be bold as the Minister of Interior. Cancel every protocol. Whoever it is, cancel it. Open the system up. Let's look for the principle of transparency and accountability and let the Ghanaian youth enjoy applying and showing the commitment to join the police service, the army, the immigration, or whatnot. If they qualify and they are selected, so be it.
The letter you wrote to the IGP says that you are worried about selective law and enforcement and law and order because of the politicization of the recruitment or enlistment, if you will. Will this ever end?
It must end. It has to take some of us to speak out like this. It will take some of you to reason along with us, and let's carry this discourse further and think about our nation, Ghana. It must end at a point in time. Yesterday I was telling somebody, let's assume that both of us were just petty thieves. You have graduated into robbery, and you finally rob a family member. And I said, bro, this thing, you have gone too far. And he said, if I go and announce it to the public, you will tell the public that I was also a thief. I will be prepared to tell the public that we used to steal granules together in my father's farm. But as for robbing and killing there, I'm not part of it.
Right.
They will have to deal with you because you've taken the game out of proportion. That is unacceptable. Protocol we know in the whole Fourth Republic, we know the history. As bad as we want to believe it was, what is going to happen if we allow it to happen now is just so disastrous in character. How can you share slot like the way we share granules in my village? And what is more dangerous is the fact that when you share slot like that, people take this slot and, for instance, you give your parliamentary candidate 30 slots. And he goes to his constituency and calls the constituency chairman, also giving some 5 slots. The constituency chairman has his vehicle that is broken down for about 6 months. He says, 5 slots, I'm selling one for 20,000 Ghana cedis. And you actually get people to buy because there is frustration in the system. People are looking for a job they can't find. They go and buy the slots and they go for training. And at the end of the day, the person buying the slot will say, police are selling slots. Immigration are selling slots. Ghana Armed Forces, they are selling slots. But it is not the army or it's not the Ghana Armed Forces, it's not the Immigration Service, neither is it the Ghana Police Service. It's a politically induced corruption that will have cascading effect negatively on our internal security. Can't we stop this?
Well, ACP Dr. Ben Agojo, he is now on retirement. I mean, he was literally prevented from wearing his uniform for some reason. The court has cleared him now, but he's on retirement. He's not been compensated. He raised a very critical issue. And I've seen a recent video of you as well talking about leadership and how leadership is supposed to influence and etc. etc.
Yeah.
Those things that you and ACP Agojo spoke about seem not to have been listened to, and we seem to be going down the hill. When you hold these training sessions for your people and for those who matter, does it take any effect at all?
It does. Training has a purpose. It is training that makes the officer, not the uniform. When you find somebody in uniform, just like those who were found in uniform in Techiman South who shot and killed, we can't call them professional soldiers. No, they are probably party hoodlums who were clothed in the green attire, and people think that they are soldiers or they were soldiers. It's training that makes the officer. So if our curriculum is good enough, I am telling you, what we do, we break you down, reassemble you, mold you, bring you out from your civilian life, and position you as a professional police officer willing to serve Ghana with all level of patriotism. That is what we do. But you know what? It's not everybody that is trainable. You can actually get some materials. Is it like cooking beans? Mm-hmm. You will cook beans with a high temperature of 100 degrees for 2 hours, and it is okay to eat. There are certain type of beans, you put it there for 100 degrees for 2 hours, and it's still not ready to eat. So some of that, if the level is 200 for 2 hours, and they put you there for 200 hours, at 200 degrees for 2 hours, and you can't be eating, what it means that you are not amenable to change, and you are not supposed to be in the uniform. But because somebody brought you, if you had gone through the screening, the process of recruitment, they would have identified something somewhere along the line and dropped you. But because you were just dropped in there, and the drill instructors, the classroom instructors are expected to mold you. And after 6 months, they realize that this one cannot change. This is just a total criminal in uniform. But who are we to talk? And we're destroying the system slowly. And you know what? As for security, when you destroy the system, it will come back to haunt you. If it doesn't get you directly, it will get a relative. A stray bullet doesn't respect which party color you wear. When a stray bullet comes, it can even kill the very party person that brought you into the service. And you realize that insecurity anywhere is a threat to the peace and security everywhere.
Now, you have written a letter to the IGP, copied to the Speaker of Parliament and to other important personalities. What result are you looking for?
I am cautioning the Inspector General of Police. Protocol of recruitment is dangerous. Sharing of slots to civilians to go and find people anywhere and bring them is a disaster in building an institution in the 21st century, like the Ghana Police Service. I am telling the Inspector General of Police that if you go to the police academy, where we have the course 53 running, this is the 53rd course since the creation of that academy or college from 1959. I am saying that when we do selection and people are qualified and they make it to the college, when you lock that door and you name the course 53, it ends there. Don't go adding on when they are about just 2-3 months to graduate. You will dilute the system and you create some level of negative impression on that course. And that negative impression will last forever. It's negative for them. It is not good. At least that is not the end of the training. This is course 53. If you want to think about the next course, which will be course 54, start putting your plans in place and go through the normal procedure and get course 54 running after these people have been commissioned. Why will you want to go and add on? That is not done. That is not done anywhere.
I hold in my hand a document that I sourced from, some higher place at the presidency in 2022. It's dated 22nd of June, 2022. It is from the table of the Office of the Chief of Staff, but it has the letterhead of the presidency. And over 500 people, the heading says that they have been appointed into the Ghana Immigration Service. And then after the list, the last paragraph with the hologram says that they are to proceed to the training school after they had been appointed. Now, I ask myself this question. You have been through the mill. Do you get appointed? And I guess these will be officers because then they were not recruited, they were enlisted. Do you get appointed before you are asked to go to the training school, or you are trained, formed, and everything else before you are appointed to go and serve in the service?
Thank you very much. At a senior command level, if you apply with a degree and you are taken, you are given an appointment letter. You get an appointment letter, and even your rank is indicated. You are appointed, and the entry point is maybe a chief inspector of police when you graduate. Your entry point is a sergeant. Your entry point is an assistant superintendent. So we call them officer cadets. So those appointment letters are issued by the institution, not by the presidency. You see, the Constitution makes it clear. We have a policy level management, and we have the administrative and operational level management. Let me take the Ghana Police, for example. The Minister of Interior is the policy head representing the President at the Interior Ministry. The Inspector General of Police is the administrative and operational head of the Ghana Police Service representing the President. So anytime you find the Minister for Interior issuing appointment letters for people to go for training, he or she is usurping the powers of the Inspector General of Police, who happens to be the head of the institution. And it means that the said minister is politicizing what is supposed to be an administrative matter. And when you do that, you give a tag, a very negative political tag to the officer. Because the moment you wear the uniform is supposed to cover every color within you, whichever party. When you wear it, you are called Ghana Immigration Service Officer.
That's right.
You are called Ghana Police Service Officer. You are called a soldier, military officer of the Ghana Armed Forces. That Ghana covers you. It covers every political color within you. And that is why you are expected to act in the name of Ghana and act in support of Ghana, not in support of a particular regime. So when we create a regime security, it endangers national security. And when you endanger national security, it now comes back to affect everybody, including even the very political party that made you a regime security. And all of us will be in trouble. We have seen this around the world. It is a no-go area. It doesn't last. And when it collapses, it destroys the whole system.
Now, I'm looking at the appointment of the heads of these institutions. As we speak now, the Comptroller General of Immigration is past retirement, but he's still there. So it's obvious that something is keeping him there. The Chief Fire Officer is gone past the age of retirement, but he's still there. It means that something is keeping him there. Not so long ago, there were a lot of, in fact, we have had retiree IGPs who had been given contract extensions from a P2 to a Pombuenu, you know, and you ask yourself the question, what really is keeping them there? The only thing that comes to me as a layman is that, okay, they may be pushing these papers that I referenced from the 22nd of June, 2022, and doing the bidding of the powers that be. So they will keep them there because they are behaving themselves. Is it time for us to change who appoints IGP, CDS, Comptroller General, Commissioner General, all those things? Is it time to move away from the political hands and find some independent organization to do that?
Thank you very much. The Constitution was created by us, and the Constitution has a history. We're just emerging from 11 years of military dictatorship into a democracy. So the Constitution was crafted to ensure that the head of state remains that powerful, to enable the head of state to have so much control. 32 years down the line, I am quite sure all of us are beginning to see that the Constitution is a living organism, subject to change. And the Constitution is itself is calling for change. We need to look at the Constitutional Review Report and see some amendments that we can have to let the Constitution be relevant to 2024 and beyond. At least, if you look at even the various councils, Armed Forces Council, Police Council, Prison Service Council, all the councils of the security agencies, they are politically heavy. And I recalled Dr. Benjamin Agojo saying that if you are talking about politicization of these institutions, and you begin to look at the various heads that are appointed and you think that they are very political, look at the immediate layer above them that provides oversight. That immediate layer is the council that represents the president. And this particular one, for example, in the Ghana Police Service, the council is chaired by the vice president. The Ghana Armed Forces Council is chaired by the vice president. So the vice president chairs the council. And in that council, we have the Minister of Interior there, you have the Attorney General there, you have representatives of the Ghana Bar Association, 2 representatives appointed by the president. So this one is presidentially heavy. So the president appoints and carries his heavy hand sealed to be able to control the person who is there. So until the law is shifted a bit, probably we'll begin to look at the Kenyan example. At least whoever is appointed, you need to go through parliamentary vetting and you're cleared. And the president will not just have the right to wake up in the morning and decide, I don't need you again, get out, and that is it. He appoints and disappoints at will without reason, without the need to explain to anybody. If we get to a point that the president will have the right to appoint, parliament will have to vet you, and after vetting you, you take up your position. The president cannot capriciously just disappoint you in the morning without any reason. No, the president must give justification for why you can be removed. And let everybody know that this is, just for instance, just like the way the Chief Justice is appointed. Yes, we know that the Chief Justice is a government appointee, appointed by the President. But the President cannot capriciously wake up in the morning and say, I don't like this Chief Justice again. You have to go through a very lengthy process to get the person out. If it becomes difficult for you to get an IGP out, I'm sure that IGPs will have some courage. Chief of Defense Staff, they will have some courage. Chief Fire Officer, they will have some courage. The Comptroller General of the Immigration Service will have some courage. Director General of Prisons, they will have some courage. The Director General of the National Intelligence Bureau, I don't even know why they changed that name. I just expected that the BNI should still be there. If you want to change it from investigation to intelligence, just make it Bureau of National Intelligence.
Right.
What is this thing? They created confusion between NIB Bank and NIB Intelligence. It's quite interesting. But they're enthused about changing names, so we can't do anything about that.
I see. Now, finally, I know, and I've said this on air before, because I have evidence to that effect, that the training that is hurriedly done for some of these political recruits and protocol recruits does not last beyond a month. Some 2 weeks, and some that I know, 2 weeks, you see, and from my background as a barracks boy, having been a senior officer of the National Cadet Corps, when you're going for camp, you know that you come with either your khaki, your tracksuit, you have your trainers, you have your white top, you have, there are things that you have to bring. I've been showing a video now where people are wearing full shoe, people are wearing Crocs and the rest on the square to train. People are some are wearing khaki shorts, some are wearing black trousers, some are wearing blue top. It's chaotic if you look at it and if you understand a bit of what is happening. But that's even beside the point. How long should the basic training take for a recruit to call themselves qualified to be on the field and in uniform trying to help in the preservation of internal security?
Thank you very much. Basic police training, the one that makes somebody a confirmed police constable, is 2 years.
2 years, right.
2 years. 6 years 6 months in the training school, 18 months on the job. And after this 18 months, there is a letter of recommendation that says, yes, you want to do the basic training in the school for 6 months, that is theory. You've been put on the job, on mentorship for 18 months, and you've proven that you can be a very competent police constable. And that is when the IGP issues a letter confirming you as a police constable. From that day, you walk chest out that I am a confirmed police constable. Within the 2 years, let's assume you graduate from the police training school after 6 months, and you go on the job training with your mentor. Within that 18-month probation period, if you violate any rule or you misconduct yourself, we don't conduct any service inquiry. You are just blown away like a piece of cotton. And the only statement they write is that you are unlikely to become a qualified or competent police constable. Period. And that's it. Because you are not in there yet. So if you start showing these negative things, the moment you confirm, you can be very dangerous to the system. So you are blown out. So police training officially takes 2 years for you to call yourself a police officer. But sometimes people are so enthused about the graduation at the police training school. When you do 6 months and you are coming out, people come there and say, he has passed out. When you pass out, you are not a full police officer yet. You are just going on probation. It is that probation period I have always asked many questions. You have a budget for the 6-month training. I want to see the budget for the 18-month probation. I want to see the curriculum for the 18-month probation. I want to see the mentors and supervisors for these young ones for the 18 months. I want to see the reports for the 18 months. And finally, I want to see a very strong recommendation that will attract confirmation from the Inspector General of Police. And after 2 years, you should be bold enough to say, yes, I know the ins and outs of policing, and I can provide security for my people. You should be proud to say that. But if not, if it's just sometimes you go there for 4 months, 6 months, and you are out, and that is all. You don't even have a mentor. You are put directly on the job and you are expected to produce results. It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work like that, indeed. Superintendent Peter Lanchene Tobu, MP for Wa West, we're grateful that you could speak to us this morning. We're grateful.
Thank you very much, Johnny.
Great.